practice room should be one of the most important rooms in your whole house. It should be the one space where you can go down, turn off your phone, you know what I'm saying? Tell everybody upstairs, don't bug me for at least the next hour. Put that little do not disturb sign on the door. This is the space where you're going to develop your craft. And it should be a sacred space just for you. When my wife and I were shopping for houses, I saw this place and I came downstairs, and when I looked around, I knew right away that this space was going to be perfect for what I wanted to do. And you know, a proper practice and just drum room space for myself was high on the list of criteria when we were looking for houses. And it just turned out, you know, we found this house and it was fully detached, basement, perfect. It's actually one of the reasons why we ended up buying this house. So in this little video, I'm just gonna give you a couple of tips on what you need to make the perfect little practice space for yourself. Now, playing along to music has been, is, and probably always will be one of the best ways ever to practice playing the drums. Back when I was a teenager, I was living in my parents' house. My little drum corner setup was real simple. I had two big old speakers on either side of the kit, and I had a little stereo component set up over here, and I would just throw in a cassette. I don't even know if some of y'all remember what that thing is, but I would throw in a cassette and I would just play it front to back, crank up the volume, and I had my speakers here, and I would just play along to my favorite albums. And I did that easily for the first 3 years. Before I even understood anything technical about playing the drums, that's all I did was play along to records. And I think if I didn't do that, I probably wouldn't have gotten as good as quick as I did. So when you set up your space, the ability to play along with music should be the top goal. Everything else can fall underneath that. But ideally, you want to be able to practice playing along to tracks, you know, in a comfortable environment to really optimize your practice time. So I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to make this happen, and then I'll give you some alternative options for you depending on your environment, whether you're in a fully detached house or whether you're in a semi-detached or an apartment or whatever. Now, keep in mind, we're talking about a practice room here, all right? We're not talking about a recording studio. That's a whole separate video. We're just talking about a space where you can go down and play your drums. Now, it'll start with just a room, an ideal space in your house. So it doesn't have to be a huge room. It can be 9 by 9, 10 by 10, as long as it's big enough for you to set up your kit. So ideally, you know, if you have a house with a basement is the best place to be. I realize there are a lot of places in the US you guys don't have basements. Basements are non-existent in certain parts of the US. So just any room in the house, any spare room, spare bedroom that you have in the house where you can set your kit up, starts there. Now, if you want to take some steps to help to sort of control the acoustic environment, kind of like what I did here. A lot of people ask me about these panels. These panels don't have anything to do with soundproofing. These panels are just for controlling the reverb. There was a lot of natural reverb down here when I moved in. So when I would play the drums, they would just be ringing like crazy. So it would have been horrible to record on the mics in that environment. So I just went and bought some acoustic panels and threw a bunch of them up, spaced them out a little bit to sort of help with the absorption. And that's all they do. They're not soundproofing panels or anything like that. They just help to soak in some of the reverb. And I have a carpet underneath the kit because it's hardwood parquet floors we have down here. So yeah, I just throw a nice big carpet underneath the kit, and that's all I did with the room. So if your drums are in the basement, then you just want to go out, Walmart, Costco, whatever, get yourself a cheap rug. I think this one's like 5x7 or something like that, and throw it underneath the kit. Or if you're in a bungalow type house and your bedroom's already carpeted, then you're already good to go. All right, so now just let me show you what you need to get your music station happening so you can start practicing the tunes on your kit. The next thing you want to look into is getting a good pair of powered monitors. They don't have to be super expensive. They don't have to be flat response studio monitors or anything. But yeah, just visit your music shop, talk to the audio guys, and get yourself a good pair of powered monitors. You're also going to want to grab a couple of inexpensive speaker stands to put the monitors on, so you can set them up on your kit. You can set them up behind you, like I have here, or you can set them up in front of you so they're facing you. However you want to do it, it's your choice. But good pair of powered monitors on stands, that's next. After that, get yourself a little 4-channel or 6-channel mixer that you can keep beside you or behind you or on the floor beside you or whatever you want to do. But you want to get a little mixer, and you want to get one of these splitter cables, the 1/4" to mini jack cables. And that is going to be for your phone, which is going to be the next component that you need. Your phone or your iPod or any kind of MP3 player that you want to use. Of course, so you can play your tunes that you're going to be practicing to. And then finally, just get a good pair of earbuds, headphones, whatever you feel like using. I kind of suggest not getting ones that offer total isolation, because it would kind of defeat the purpose of having the monitors there. I kind of like the idea of having a little bit of ambient noise around my ears. So I don't want complete isolation when I'm playing along to music. So the earbuds that I use are my Bose. I got a pair of Bose earphones, the ones that I use to go walking with. And I use those because I can still hear my drums while I have them in my ears. And I kind of want that. Like, I don't want total isolation. You want a little bit, you want enough to protect your ears, but not enough that you can't hear anything around you. And then the last option, you can get this if you want. You don't really have to, but some kind of mount would be cool. This is an iPhone mount that you can clamp onto whatever. So just so you can have your iPad, iPhone, whatever you're using to play music, you can just have it there beside you. And it's just convenient for playing your tunes. And that's really all you need, man. Other than that, just get a couple of cables so you can plug your mixer into your monitors, and then you're good to go. You're set up to play music now. The other thing that you really need to consider, if you don't already have one on your phone, download a good metronome, because of course that's going to be an important part of your practice. So just grab a metronome app and stick it on your phone there, so that you can also run your exercises with the click in your ears and coming out of the speakers and whatever else. Another suggestion that I want to make for you to consider picking up is a good set of quiet pads for your kit. There's a few options out there for you to choose from, starting high up at the new RTOM black hole pads. Those are really great because you can just pop them on and take them off when you're done with them. Like, you don't have to actually swap the heads out. So it saves you a lot of time there. Or you can get, silent stroke pads or whatever. Like, just look into getting some quiet pads for your kit, so that if you want to practice after hours, you can. So This is all, of course, ideal for people that live in fully detached houses with or without basements, where they have the room and the environment to play acoustic drums that won't bother anybody. But not everybody has that convenience. Some people are in apartments, some people are in semi-detached houses. So it's not always ideal for you to be playing acoustic drums without people, calling the cops on you. The good news is there's always a way around everything. So, you're not fully out of options as far as what you can do with your space if you're in an apartment or if you're in a semi-detached house. The bad news is sometimes it's a little bit extra investment for you to get your space set up so that you don't get in trouble. Now, if you're in an apartment, you almost don't have a choice. You're going to have to make your kit completely quiet, or as quiet as you can possibly get them. So mesh pads are going to be what you're looking at, and some kind of solution to quiet down your cymbals, whether you want to use the sound off pads, the rubber pads that you can throw on your cymbals, or you can replace your cymbals altogether with those new Zildjian silent cymbal thingies that they got out that actually look really cool. I can't remember what they call them, but you can look them up. But yeah, you're going to have to quiet down your kit completely if you have an acoustic kit up there. The other option, of course, is to get yourself some electronic drums. I know a lot of us hate them, but they are really good for practicing on, especially in your first, 3 to 5 years of playing. It's kind of a popular question if electronic drums are as good to practice on as real drums. Yes and no. You're going to miss out on a lot of the nuances that you can develop on acoustic drums. A lot of the sounds that you can get, you're going to completely miss out on all of those. But they're also way quieter, and you can also plug your headphones right into them, along with your phone. There's usually an auxiliary jack, so you can play your music right through the module and practice along to everything right in your headphones without really bothering anybody. Then, of course, you want to just pick yourself up a music stand. If you're one of those drummers that likes to work out of books, just get yourself a nice, sturdy music stand that you can set beside you to do your exercises and stuff. Everything is right there. Your phone is right there. You got it nice and clamped off your hi-hat stand or your music stand or whatever. And you've created your space, the space where you can sit down there, lock yourself in, and develop your craft. I'm, of course, going to take this opportunity to plug my 2 albums. I have 2 albums out, 2 play-along albums. One is called Beatdowns Pocket Builders. It's got 10 songs on it, 10 different play-along tracks of a bunch of different genres. And the other one is called Solo Comps for Drummers. And that album is just like 5-minute loops of different styles of music, different types of music, and they're purely designed for you to practice your soloing. Any one of those 2 albums, add those to your practice regimen. And again, download a nice metronome app. I use Tempo. Tempo's a great metronome app out there. I think it's one of the best ones in the App Store. And everybody's got iTunes or any kind of music player or whatever. And that's it, man. You're good to go. But do whatever you need to do to feng shui your environment. You know what I mean? You want to be comfortable down there. You're going to be spending a lot of time down there. So you want it to look cool. You want it to feel cool. Anything that will inspire you to play. Pepper the walls with posters of your favorite drummers, whatever you need to do. So there you have it, man. If you have any suggestions, or if you just want to show off your practice space, just take a shot of your room and stick it up on the Facebook page. And, let us see what y'all are working with. Comment below if you got any questions. Don't forget to follow me on Patreon if you're not already. Just click the link below to find out how you can support this channel and help me grow a little bit here. And other than that, that's it, man. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. See you next video.